This podcast was edited and uploaded by Uncle Geeb Productions. Hey guys, and welcome everyone to the Drip and Geeb podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Geeb, and with me is Hoster Media Gaming. We record this podcast live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can listen to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, or anywhere you can find a podcast. You can also watch our YouTube clips over on youtube.com/DripGeeb and the Drip and Geeb TikTok. Just go ahead and search Drip and Geeb on TikTok. Drip, I didn't mess that intro up. That intro was fire. How you doing?
It was straight fire. I'm doing fantastic, man. Getting ready to kick off the Memorial Day weekend.
Hell yeah, brother. Memorial Day weekend, rhyming home with my foot up because I have a messed up foot and I don't know why.
Hey, man, it's fine. You know what? This is something we've dealt with this before. We knew this was going to happen again. It's not new. It's not new. We knew it was coming. It's
this
fine.
Is correct. Yes. I just wake up with a broken foot. You know, whatever. It's fine.
I'm doing fantastic. I just made shrimp and steak out on the grill.
Ooh, you sent me a picture, and I'm salivating because I remember the last time I was at your place, you made me shrimp, and those of us at the house that day, Parallax, Abby, you made a shrimp. Oh my god, dude!
It was pretty good. I gotta admit, I had some grill issues, so I ran. Dude, has this ever happened to you? I know it has. It's happened to everybody. It's the worst thing ever. You're out there grilling. You know, you're really feeling confident about the cook. Things are going well. You're liking the color of everything. You leave for a minute, you come back, there's no fire. You're out of propane.
In fact, now your food tastes
ever.
like eggs because you just like spewed some gas on it by accident. Like the few gas fumes that came
too.
up.
Yeah, that too. Luckily, my brother is my neighbor, and I called him. I was like, "Do you have a propane tank that has anything in it?" He's like, "Yes."
You should have just walked over and grabbed it. It's like
well, it was
2
in his
feet from your
garage.
house.
Yeah, I know, but it was in his garage.
You
locked
got
up.
You know, his place.
Well, no, I don't. I used to. I don't anymore. Well, and now they have a kid, so it's like I don't like just. I used to just barge in there wherever. It doesn't matter, you know.
I feel like I could. Hi, everyone.
Yeah,
I see that.
But now you know with the kid over there, I feel bad doing that, so I don't do that anymore. So I just call him and like you just let me know what you have. If you're good, then I'll be there.
I'll be there. Oh, my singing chops are rusty because I haven't streamed in a while. Speaking of which.
Yeah, you haven't.
So do I. I know. I just took a break, man. It's not a priority for me to get a stream up every week as it used to be. It's not that it's not fun anymore. It's none of those things. There's no controversy happening in the background. I didn't want to stream the last few weeks. Sorry, guys. If you want them to come back on a regular basis, then let me know. Let me know because I will do it.
I'd like them to come back on a regular basis, but you can only do what you can do.
I can only do what I do. I'm working on YouTube. I'm trying to get in this app that you're into. So like, I'm gonna be busy. I'm gonna be a busy boy. I've been busy the last 2 days. So and it's positive, man. It's good stuff. My video.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, my video. Hold on. We gotta fix this because it's bothered me. Boop. Okay. There. Perfect. Ignore that happened. Continue on the podcast. Drip.
Yes.
We took off last week. Do you want to talk about that real fast?
Yeah, so we took the week off. You came up with it. We had something up. Something went up. I have to give you all the credit for this, man. I didn't know how well it was going to go over. I said it might be fine, it might not. We're going to see. But the Drip and Geeb Select, I like it. Like the name, like the idea of it, like bringing something back.
Yeah,
it's the same thing as like a Nintendo Select. It's literally the same thing.
Yeah.
Discount on an old thing. Yeah, coming back. Here you go.
You audio listeners, I can see the analytics. A lot of you guys didn't check it out immediately, which tells me that a lot of you have already listened to it, so you didn't necessarily want to listen to it again. Totally understandable. Didn't expect you to listen to it twice or download it or whatever. But where I was most surprised on was YouTube. Yeah. It was really popular on YouTube.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, that video had, and if last week, if you didn't check out last week's episode, last week was a re-upload from August of 2021, where I actually came to Drip's house and we did a podcast in Drip's house. Bad quality. We didn't know we were doing live like in person then, so it didn't come out the best. We tried.
We did our best.
Yeah. So last week I decided to re-upload it. Slightly edited so it looks a little better and sounds a little better for audio. And a lot of people on YouTube didn't check out the first one. That within the first year of it being uploaded on there, got 90 views, which isn't bad for our audience. But within 2 days, we managed to pull in 100 views in 2 days, and then I think right now it's settled in nicely at about 130. So yeah, I mean, man. lots of support. Great. We appreciate you guys who check that out on YouTube, especially. And if you're new and you're listening again from last week into this one, welcome. That's not unusual. We don't usually go back and check out our old stuff. That was the first time we've done it. And what Drip was about to say, I'm assuming, was we're probably going to try it again.
I think so. And I had this idea, and you kind of shot me down earlier, but I think you should really keep it. Just think about it. I think we should react to these old episodes. I think it would be hilarious. We would have to do something to where we had. Our audio levels would have to be louder than the actual podcast. So if we start talking, we are what's talking, not the podcast. But right. I think it would be funny because what you guys don't know is Geeb and I actually sat right here and watched it because it was a premiere. Yeah. So there was a live chat, and everybody watched it together. All you guys that showed up, thank you for that as well.
It was a blast.
But we watched it together, but we sat here like this and watched it, and we're like, good God! Like that didn't happen.
Would for sure want to do.
That didn't happen. That's a lie. Yeah. We are liars. What is going on? It was just
for sure. We need to do that one again. Re-upload that one, but with us commentating over it for sure. Because in that episode in particular, there's so much that we talked about, like you just said. Unachieved promise, unachieved goals. Failed promises, like full of it.
I was like, I'm totally finishing Skyward Sword. Like as soon as you guys leave, I'm Skyward Sword till it's done. I still haven't finished. You know, it's funny. A year later,
I didn't mention to you in the moment while we were watching it together, but we were more focused on the chat than we were on each other, which I thought was pretty funny to like look back at. Like especially you, you're like a couple of times where you like. Really get in there and look down.
Let me tell you something,
read
man.
the chat.
That's
I'm
because there's small text over here.
Yeah,
you gotta, at my age,
get the reading glasses out, Drip. Okay.
You gotta kind of,
What'd you say, Sonny?
I think the point I'm trying to make is it was still pretty. It was fresh, and we were a little bit.
We didn't really know what we didn't know what we were doing. We were. Yeah, it's fine. This next time it's gonna be way better.
Oh yeah. Oh God, dude. I'm bringing this microphone, and this other microphone is covered in stuff, but I'm bringing 2 microphones with us. It's going to be the best sounding. Yeah, it's going to be the best sounding podcast we've ever done. That's for sure. Oh God, I think so.
Now you have the other little stand that you used to use, right? So we'll be able to. I could hook that up to this arm here.
Yeah. Not the feet on here, not these 3 feet.
Yeah, I don't need the feet.
This
just give me that. I can just put it on this. Yeah,
correct.
We're good to go.
Well, see, but then there's this. I'm not bringing the arm. I'm not going to bring the arm.
I have another arm here, maybe, or I can get the one from.
That's true.
Kim has one that I gave her. I will have to borrow it back.
Well, we can either do the arm situation, or we can just hold them because they are handheld microphones. We could do either one. They're not going to make too much noise if we're holding them, so it's fine.
We're not doing handheld microphones. We're not doing it. We will not do it. That's fine. You do it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. You can hold your mic all day if you want. I will not. I will sit here with hands free.
For the remainder of this podcast, I'm going to sit here like this and hold this mic. Forget this one. I'm just going to.
Okay, whatever. I don't care. Hold your microphone. That's fine.
Everyone. Uncle Geeb
You look like Bob Barker.
And the price is right.
Even worse, you look like his replacement, Drew Carey.
Oh, come on. What's wrong with old Drew? What did Drew ever do to you? Come on.
It's a joke, man. It's a joke.
Always on deck is in here. What's up, man?
Yo, well, what's up? Yeah. So listen.
Yeah, what's up?
Listen, let's do the beer of the week. I've been hiding my can, and I really want to drink more of this because it's absolutely fantastic.
Okay.
Let's do the beer of the week.
Let's do it.
Can we get a couple of listeners first? We had some of those. I'm really actually excited to
you think
to
this
get
is a
to.
bit? I'm committed to this for the rest of the podcast.
I see you. You're there. That's fine. You hold that microphone when your arm. Now you're not going to be able to go to work tomorrow because your arm's going to be hurt.
I know my arm's going to fall off for holding this microphone the whole time.
It's so heavy.
Listener beer of the week. This is cool, man. These are nice Sures make nice stuff. It's cold. It's heavy. It's nice to hold. I'm just saying.
I know. I mean, I used to sing for a band. I don't know if you know that.
Yes, I know.
I used to have
I sing
that
too,
microphone in your hand.
Yeah, I get people throw money at me on Twitch for singing. You know,
I know. I heard that. I heard about that.
Yeah, it's great.
Sounds like a good time.
Okay, listener beers of the week this week. Let's start on Discord because those are actual beers. Because we have some on Twitter as well, but on Discord we got some legitimate beers. So let's go ahead and get to those right now. We have a couple submissions from our old friend Chug. Chug, how you doing? Thank you for your submissions of the beer of the week. Let me read the description first. Blueberry lemonade cider is the last night rendezvous in a can. Definitely recommended. I knew that word. I need to work that out.
That I even you know, usually when those pop in there, I just try to leave them for now. I had to comment on that one. That is right up. You know, Geeb, we talked about this several times. Lemonade, man. You get me with lemonade. I'm a sucker for lemonade. I love it.
That lemonade looks absolutely fantastic. It's like this. It's actually not as dark as I would have thought because it looks like to me like it's a little bit more lemonade forward than it is blueberry, which not bad or good, just interesting.
Yeah, well, and another thing about it that's kind of crazy is it's a cider. Blake's cider lemonade. Like
it's a cider.
I feel like it's got a whole new element going on there. Like I don't know how that's actually going to taste. I'm very interested. I want to find out, but I've never even seen that before. I don't know where you can get that, but I don't know if I have that local. If I ever see it though, definitely going to try that one.
Yeah, that one, it looks spectacular. Thank you, Chug, for your submission. And your second submission, once again, from Blake's Hard Cider. What is that word? A paloma?
Paloma?
It's not like real letters. It's like avant-garde letters.
Palome.
This is an old grandma's... Excuse me. This is an old grandma's soap perfume shop in a can. Do not drink unless you have a female friend over. So you can like bathe them. Just like get a little like kitty tub out and just bathe your female friends in your...
What a very strange... It's a very strange description. I like it, pal.
I love it. I know exactly what he's talking about.
Grapefruit. What else does it say? I can't see from
grapefruit agave. So that's like the sweetener. Lime hard cider. Grapefruit agave lime hard cider.
Okay, I bet that's pretty good.
It's like a limeade grapefruit.
Let me ask you this: How do you feel about grapefruit? Are you a fan or are you not a fan?
I am a fan. See, I don't eat grapefruits. If you're asking me, do I eat grapefruits on the reggie? No. Did my mom used to, and like she'd use that special serrated spoon to eat the grapefruit with. Yeah. I'm like, Mom, what are you doing? She's like, I'm eating a grapefruit. I'm like, I don't know what that means. I'm 5. Learn. And she's like eating a grapefruit from its
rind. You cut it in half and just you put some sugar on the top, man. Oh
so
man,
I would try that now because I used to really, really hate bitter stuff. I still don't love bitter, but I will try it. And I would totally these days I would try it. Maybe it could be like a Twitch redeem thing. You have to eat a grapefruit with no sugar. That's a fun one.
I see. I would just eat. That's not a problem for me.
Well, for me, I'm not a big bitter fan. So
that's kind of like, hey, shotgun a beer. Oh no!
No!
I'm so upset. I have to do that. It's fun. It's more fun. I should do that. I'm just gonna start putting things like that as redeemable things on my Twitch. Like, eat a slice of pizza with extra pepperoni. Like,
I guess so, but no limits. But no limits. So like, if they do it 40 times, you have to eat 40 slices.
Okay. Well, yeah, that could get pretty hairy pretty quick there.
That's the idea, though, right?
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, that could get bad very quickly. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Any other listeners, or do you want to go ahead and do yours?
We do have a couple more. Let's go ahead to Twitter. Drip and Geeb on Twitter, @DripGeeb on Twitter if you want to submit your beer of the week. We got Parallax Puddles @DripGeeb, #Breath of the Wild, aka beer of the week. If you didn't know, now you know. What normal human does not appreciate the glorious nectar that is Sunny D?
This one right here.
Oh my! You don't like Sunny D?
Not anymore.
What do you mean not anymore?
I'll tell the story in a minute. Go ahead.
Okay.
Finish up your description there.
I should start with the other one then. @DripGeeb, today's Breath of the Wild, aka beer of the week, is coffee. 1 whole pot of coffee that I drink per day. This is a Starbucks espresso that I grind myself. Am I a snob? No, because it's Starbucks. You're not a snob to go. If you go to Starbucks every day and grab your coffee, that's different. If you grind your own, that's acceptable.
This is acceptable. I agree.
That is the go-to in my cabinet. So he's got this huge container for those of you audio listeners. He's got this huge container.
Massive. My God. See in the cup now. Yeah, that's big.
It fits
Look at the flashlight. Holy crap, that thing's huge. You drink one of those a day?
My brother drinks a pot of coffee a day.
How?
He's had for as long as I
How do you get anything done? You just got to be like pissing all the time.
Dude, and coffee poops is real. So like,
yeah, dude, just pooping and peeing and just like,
I don't know what his deal is.
His boss is mad. Like, listen, this shit needs fixed, and you are just shitting. Can you stop, please?
Well, here's the thing: Kenny gets paid not by the hour, but by the job and how much work he gets done. So it's out of his own wallet if he doesn't. I mean, he says practice. I believe it. He wears the diaper that we saw on the Billo app.
Oh yeah, dude. Listen.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do. I mean,
exactly.
NASCAR drivers, astronauts, whatever. Well,
yeah. So that's it for Listener Beers of the Week, guys. Thank you. Drip's out to tell a story about Sunday D, but first we want to thank you guys for your submissions. Please, if you have not done so and want to let us know, it's not just beer. As you saw, we had some Sunday D and coffee mixed up in there. So if you have any drink that you're drinking throughout the week and you're thinking of us, just go ahead and slap it on Twitter at DripGeeb on Twitter. And you can also check it out in Drip's Discord and in the beer room where we all chat about our beverages. But yeah, yes. Go ahead and we talking about practice. We talking about practice. Yes.
Not the game.
Not the game. Practice. Okay, Drip, tell us your Sunny D story.
You don't want to hear it. I'm going to make it very short because we're going to move on.
Okay.
As a kid, I don't know if you remember. I don't even know if they still make them, but they used to have different color Sunny Ds, different flavors. They had like a pink one and a green one. It was like kiwi something.
In the 90s in particular, they were going crazy. In the 2000s, they were going crazy with color and everything.
Well, it was, oh my God.
This is ketchup?
Yeah, this is in the 90s. This is definitely the 90s. The gas station that now was a Shell and now is something else used to be a Chevron at the time, and there aren't even Chevrons in this state anymore. But I went down there and got one and drank it. Like, it was the night before school or something. I don't even know what it was. Like, we went down there, somebody was getting gas or something. I walked in, I was like, oh yeah, I want to get this green, whatever. Drank it. About 3 hours later, got food poisoning, was sick for days.
Oh,
I never drank Sunny Delight again. That was it. That was it for me.
You just call it Sunny Delight?
Yeah. That's what it used to be called. That's what it used to be called.
It's Sunny D, man.
Yeah, but what's the D?
D's nuts. Got him.
Oh, I literally put it on the T for you. Walked away. Said, have fun with that.
You really did. That's actually, I thought there was gonna be more of a funny story involved. You shit yourself for a couple days.
I threw up a lot too. It sucked. It wasn't good. It was really bad. It was not fun.
That's unfortunate. I know. Yeah. I would drink way too much of that stuff, and I wouldn't get sick because I was drinking it. I get sick because I was drinking too much of it.
Yeah, it was
so unstoppable. You just pound them. It was just, dude, man. Good memories.
Dude,
man. Haven't had a Sunny D in years, decades.
Yeah, even. Sunny Delight.
My beer of the week, real fast. We'll get to mine. It's not fun. I know yours is a little bit more fun. I got a Corona this week, once again. Got a few left in the fridge, so I'm going to go ahead and pound down the last few Coronas. I do love me some Corona. Yeah. You, sir, what are you drinking?
It's not really that crazy either. It's just, it's really good, and it's on point with the weekend, Memorial Day weekend. We got some Smirnoff Ice, red, white, and berry.
Oh, very nice.
Limited edition.
Looks like those ice pops you can get from the
it's
ice cream truck.
It is exactly what it tastes like with carbonation. It's
really
blue raspberry, cherry, and citrus. It is fan-fucking-tastic.
I'm buying it.
So good.
Those are when I would go to the ice cream truck.
So they come in the tall, like the pints in an 8-pack. It's like $10. Not terrible, but I mean not extremely cheap, but it's really, really good. Like this is my second one. I drank one. I was like, holy crap. Like this is fantastic. It's so good. But the whole
can, the whole can looks like that pop you get, or that rocket pop, I think is what it was
Rocket Pop. Yeah.
Yeah, I would get that. That was my preferred ice cream truck purchase because I'm lactose intolerant. And even as a kid, I still love ice cream. I loved it back then, but I would know as a kid, like, maybe I don't want ice cream right now. Like, because I don't want to be farting and pooping. So I'll just go ahead and grab the pop. And dude, it was so good.
Hey, look at the chat right now. Cool. Now we have something to talk about in the after show. Make sure you guys stick around for the after show. We'll be talking about in the after show, Megaboy.
Yes.
New NSO games just dropped. I'm not even looking at what they are. I'm not even going to look. We're gonna find out in the after show together. So make sure you guys stick around for that.
Word. So speaking of what let's just get to the topics of the episode.
Yes.
We will get to the newly dropped Nintendo Switch Online service stuff. I might if it's a good clip we'll put on YouTube, whatever. We'll see what's going on with that. Breaking news, if you will, Drippin' G Podcast, breaking news. But first, let's go ahead and get to let's go ahead and start this podcast off with Zelda right away. We have some rumors. Now, let's actually start with this. Your video today, you dropped the video on your YouTube channel, and you talked about the quote-unquote real Nintendo Switch rumors, kind of taking shots of
I'm not. No. Now, hold on. Don't you put words in my mouth. I'm not taking shots at anybody. I'm just saying it's bullshit and most of it's fake. I didn't say anybody's name.
You did say certain faceless creators. I mean, that's a little bit of a shot to those.
All I said is Jeff Grubb is not some faceless person on Twitter. He's credible. That's Samus all Hunter. I said. I didn't say Samus. I never said Samus Hunter. You did. I didn't say a word about Samus Hunter. You did.
Correct. That's correct.
All I'm saying is I would trust something he says over something that Samus Hunter says. That's all I'm saying. I know who this guy is. I know where he works. I know he knows people. He actually knows things. So I consider him a little bit more credible than, again, some faceless person who tries to guess shit, on Instagram or
Hamus
whatever.
Hunter. Like Hamus Hunter.
Twitter. Hamus Hunter.
Yes. Yeah. So like you were saying, real rumors that's people of sources that you can actually trust, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The idea behind the video was, to me, looking through all the stuff that we've got in the last couple months, this is the stuff that's like, okay, this is coming from a real place. This is something that you can look at and take, with more than, as the saying goes, which I hate, more than just a grain of salt. This has some credibility behind it. It has some, it's got facts behind it. So I don't know. That's why I kept it to 3. It was hard to find a lot of those. Really hard to find a lot of those.
So what was your boy Grubb? Your boy Grubb, what was he saying about Zelda?
And this isn't fact. I did state that in the video as well. This is not fact, but he does believe that these 2 games are still coming this year, even though Twilight Princess and The Wind Waker. These 2 Zelda games are still coming this year, he believes. He said in the, I believe it's on his podcast, but he said he believes they're coming in October, which honestly, think about it. That sounds about right. I mean, it makes sense. October for a port, you're right kind of outside of that holiday, like November area where you really want to drop those big games, but still kind of right there. You know what I mean? You're like right in the middle of that area, but not taking up like, you're not riding shotgun on the holiday season. You know what I mean? But you're still there. You're in the car. That's all that matters. For sure.
Yeah, I think October seems kind of likely. If there's going to be Zelda at this point, we're about to hit June in just a few days. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So like October at this point makes a lot of sense, and we probably would be seeing an announcement relatively soon. I mean, when did I know Skyward Sword was announced in the July Direct, but when was June? I'm sorry, June Direct. When was the game actually released? September?
Yeah. I think so, right? So September.
So I mean, October is just one more month after that, and this is 2 games. No,
that's what I'm saying. So, and we've talked about this. I told you I don't even remember where I got this information, but as far as porting a game from the Wii U to the Switch, it's like a month. For a decent sized team to do it, it's a month. Like it's not like it's huge work, and again, I don't think they have to worry about getting it done. I think it's been done since 2020, honestly.
Yeah.
I think these are games that were held back when they had a 35th anniversary for Zelda celebration planned. I think these two games were going to drop. I think they got held back because obviously, Breath of the Wild 2, they're working on it. We got this pandemic stuff going on. Who knows how long it's going to last?
Yeah.
You hold these two games back right there. If you want to release them together, you can. If you don't, you've just saved yourself 2 years right there. You've got 2022. You've got 2023 if you need it. Yep. Depending on what you're looking at, they don't need 2023 now. We're going to get Breath of the Wild 2 then. So these could come out as a double pack this year. Easy. Why not? I guarantee they're done. There's probably more than that done, but I think these are the ones people want most. And I think right now Nintendo doesn't need much more this year. It's pretty stacked. They don't need a boom. We got the Oracle of Ages remastered, a remake, whatever, something like that. They don't need that right now. They
essentially
don't need
a brand new game.
Right. They don't need a new 2D Zelda. They don't need Ocarina of Time HD. They just dropped, Ocarina of Time on the 64 stuff. They're not going to do it right now. They're going to do it, but they're going to do it later. It's set up perfect for either Wind Waker or Twilight Princess or both.
You make a really good point in your video where you talk about the fact that this will be a second port. We had the original games come out, and then they were ported to the Wii U as the HD versions. I've been playing some of them on stream recently on the Wii, my Panda Wii U. It's the excuse to bring this bad boy out. Panda. So they're ready. They're ready to go. Theoretically, image quality wise, they're already upscaled. They just need to be it's a lot simpler of a port because they're not going to do any more upscaling. It's good to go. It just needs to be however they do the situation where the code of the game make it work with the Switch. I assume that's a pretty simple process in terms of all these professionals who've been doing it for as long as they have.
Well, and you can see like they were talking about the game that they built for the Wii U, Breath of the Wild. I don't even know where I think I saw it in somebody's video. They were referencing some investors meeting or something where they were talking about Breath of the Wild going to both systems when the Switch released.
Yeah.
They literally had to do almost nothing to Breath of the Wild. It just ran. It was made for the Wii U, but to get it to the Switch, they literally had to do nothing. They said before they even optimized it, it was already running better than it was on the Wii U.
I was going to say that can confirm, being an owner of a Wii U copy of Breath of the Wild, it runs bad on the Wii U, and it runs pretty good on the Switch. As all of you know, there are frame rate issues in that game and on the Switch.
Some areas, yeah.
But
depends on where you're at.
On the Wii U, almost every area has some frame rate issues, similar to the Korok area, the tree parts. Everywhere there's more than 3 trees, it's chugging. So that's actually highly surprising to hear that. It's perfectly good. That means the Switch and the Wii U, some are pretty similar in terms of their capabilities.
Yeah, like just the architecture is very close. Yeah, well, and they didn't even. I don't even think, from what I understand of what I saw, it wasn't even really planned that way for it to be so close. But they work.
Fat Switch.
Yeah. So you're talking about a port of one of these games. At this point, yeah, like you said, they're port. If they come to the Switch, they're ports of ports. They've been ported twice. I can understand. It's Nintendo. The Wii U bombed. They made these amazing games. They sit there. Nobody buys them. I understand charging $60 for them when you port them to the Switch because you want to, you're trying to get your money back.
Yeah.
Like you put so much into these games and you probably didn't even break even on some of them. Like you look at Mario Kart 8. They just made it Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, moved it from the Wii U to the Switch. Best selling game on the system. Still selling.
I would like to get that one for Wii U just to see.
I have it. It's basically the same. Like it's missing stuff, but it looks. Oh man.
What?
Kim just got KK on her island. It happened.
Hey!
Just did it.
Congratulations, Kim. You finally did.
Very nice. Yes.
All your work is finally paid off.
Yeah. Now, oh man, it's about to open up now. Yeah. No, after show stuff.
Yes.
But so, the work is done. It's basically done. And you've already had people pay for these ports. And they weren't full price. I don't think they were full price even on the Wii U. I think it was $50, but I guess that was full price for games on the Wii U. But you got an amiibo with Breath of the Wild, or I'm sorry, with Twilight Princess.
Yep.
And I mean, my God, they went nuts for Wind Waker. There was a special pack that had a little tiny statue of Ganondorf. There was a full-on Wii U. There was a Wind Waker edition Wii U, yes, which I have,
Yes.
Soft flex over
not
here.
Better than the Panda. Not better than the Panda. But very cool.
Bro.
Come on. Are we going to fight each other about our
Are you
Wii U's?
serious, dude? Are you serious?
Look
Are you kidding me?
At the Panda.
No.
It's the Panda, baby.
No. Your Panda sucks, dude. Look at this.
What?
Look
that sucks. This. It's just some gold. It's some stickers. This is white and black.
Bro, this isn't stickers. That's on there.
I know, but it looks like stickers. This looks like some time and effort which was put into it to make it look awesome. Panda, hello.
Yeah, I mean,
I have a thing for pandas. If you didn't, my computer is black and white. Got that theme going. My phone, which I'm taking on my finger, it is a black and white phone.
This one's better, dude.
It's cool, not better.
It's better.
Can confirm. We will fight about this in the after show.
Okay. Anyway,
so no concrete evidence as far as when those games are coming out, if they're coming out on the Switch, but I think
October makes sense.
October makes a lot of sense. So that's not real rumors.
And we didn't really go into it, but my fact is, Nintendo has told told their investors, yes, we plan to put a Zelda game out every year because it's profitable. They have not said anything other than that since then. So I have no reason to believe that they're not going to keep on doing exactly what they've been doing. Why wouldn't they?
Thinking about what happened with the Zelda anniversary and the fact that they basically undersold it, could have been because of pandemic, could have been for a lot of different reasons, but it wouldn't surprise me if they just kind of overlook Zelda again. I don't know what they have against Zelda.
They don't. It's a cash cow. I'm telling you, they wanted to have a blow. I guarantee it. They wanted to have a blowout for the 35th.
If we don't get,
we had a pandemic, dude.
If we don't have an announcement,
do it. They had to hold the stuff back. It was a business move. That's all it was.
Right. But if we don't hear an announcement of anything Zelda related coming out in 2022 by the end of next month, there is nothing coming out.
Yeah, you may be right. I don't know if I would call it full on at that point, but it's more likely that there's nothing. Yeah, but I think whatever, E3 is not a thing this year, which is whatever. Nintendo's still going to go on with their plans. They're still going to have a direct. That won't change. I mean, what are we talking? 3 weeks from now, probably.
Yeah,
somewhere around there. I think in 3 weeks we'll know what Zelda we're getting, and my guess, if it's not the double pack, I said this in the video, I think it's Wind Waker.
Standalone. So I wanted to bring up a contraire to that, because I actually agree with you. I think if they're going to choose one game over the other, it's going to be Wind Waker. But here's the thing. Here's why they could only, if they had to choose one of Wind Waker or Twilight Princess, here's why they could choose Twilight Princess. As you mentioned in your video, it was, prior to Breath of the Wild, the best-selling Zelda game.
Yeah.
That means a lot of people, including Zelda fans, really like it. And
yes, but you have to remember this too. There's a reason. I didn't mention this in the video. I like that reason, and that's the exact reason I would have gave too. But there's a big, big reason why that game sold as much as it did.
And?
Because it was on the Wii.
As opposed to the Wii U?
Because
the Wii sold a lot of consoles.
The Wii sold like crazy. Wind Waker was on the GameCube. It sold, but it wasn't,
Yeah.
Everybody's buying
the GameCube was the Wii U of the time.
Yeah, it didn't really do all that well. So, and let's look at this too. I know you probably have another reason you can give me, but I have another reason to say Wind Waker here.
Okay.
I just kind of said it. Look what they did for the release of Twilight Princess HD on the Wii U. It was an amiibo. I mean, we get amiibos for everything. It's not that great. Look what they did for the release of Wind Waker HD on the Wii U. We got a special edition game that came with a Ganondorf statue. We got a custom Wii U, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is the only special edition Wii U, right?
Yeah, nothing else. Yeah.
There's nothing
besides
else.
the Panda.
Right, well, okay. Yeah. Okay. They had the white version, which was like the 8 gigabyte one. They had the black version, which was the 32. And then they had the Zelda one. I may be mistaken in chat. If I'm wrong, please correct me, but I'm pretty sure this is the only one.
I believe
you
can
tell right there, Nintendo holds Wind Waker to a little bit higher regard than they do Twilight Princess. And I said this in the video. I just feel like, putting the feelers out there just around the community. As much as I love Twilight Princess, I just feel like the vibe right now is Wind Waker. People want it more. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I kind of want it more. I love Twilight Princess, but like I don't know. I feel like the Wind Waker on the Switch is just something I've wanted to play so bad. I want to play that game handheld so badly. So, I mean, even as a Twilight Princess fan, I say if you pick one to do first, because they're both coming, but I would say do Wind Waker.
It makes more sense for the Switch. It fits that cartoony art style that they've kind of gone with a lot of games. I mean, Nintendo is cartoony in general. I mean,
yeah.
But I don't know. There's something about cartoony games that look better on the Switch, and not that Twilight Princess would run perfectly at 60 FPS HD on the Switch, but that's not to say that. But I just think Wind Waker is going to look even better on the Switch, just by the nature of the game.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the reason why I think it's definitely gonna be Wind Waker. I mean, no doubt.
I think so too.
If it's gonna be one,
so
I think we're getting Wind Waker in 2022 on a Switch. Period. Twilight Princess.
I hope so.
I'm like 45% confident about Twilight Princess, but it's
it could happen. Like, this is the one port or the two ports that I'm like, okay, you just ported this and charged. Like, it's not like it was a brand new game,
right?
That came out on the Wii U and they port, like, it wasn't Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And here's the reason why it's only 45, not 50%. I think an extra 5% is because I'm not sold that Nintendo's going to put two game, even though they've been ported for the second time now, if something comes to Switch, I'm not sold that it's going to be a $30 game in a double pack. Making up $60 game for two games. I'm not sold that's going to happen.
I think if they put them out together, they have to do it that way. This is not a Pokemon situation where you can charge $60 for two games, $120 for a double pack. No fucking way. People would riot. They would. No way, dude. I don't think I'd buy that. That's crazy.
Two $60 games?
That's crazy. I don't know. Maybe I would. I'd buy it. All right, I'd buy it. But still, you shouldn't do that. That is taking advantage of people, and that is wrong.
Some food for thought. Pikmin 3, a Wii U game, on the Wii U for $20. Pikmin 3 Deluxe released on the Switch. Now it was deluxe, so it had some extra
60.
content. $60. Wind Waker. Yeah. Wind Waker is a $20 game on the eShop on the Wii U. It's gonna be $60 in the Switch, buddy. I don't see it. I don't see it.
If they release it alone, yeah, it'll be 60.
Yes.
I don't expect anything less.
Twilight Princess is a $50 game on the Wii U. You think they're really going to down price Twilight Princess for the Switch? Because I think we all can agree. I think we all can agree.
Would be something to keep an eye on.
What?
The price of it on the Wii U eShop.
Yeah, $50.
I mean, that could tell you something right there. If it drops, get ready for that announcement.
Well, here's the thing: you can buy some stuff on the Wii U, but that time has come now where if you didn't add your credit, I think it's gonna be hard to buy stuff on there.
You can still do it with eShop gift cards.
Okay, but but the process started, so I don't know if they're really paying attention to the eShop that much.
Yeah, I mean, I think if they're gonna put it out on the Switch, they'll discount it there or just pull it off.
I think that the eShop's gonna. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's hard for me to say, oh yeah, they'll up price Wind Waker, because we all can agree that's what's going to happen. They're going to,
and it's March, right? That's when they're the eShop for the Wii U and the 3DS is going down, right? March
2023. Yep.
Right. So March makes a lot of sense, since that's probably the time that we're going to start seeing the next Switch.
Yeah.
It's about time to pull it when you're almost 2 generations out. Makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. we're gonna have to wait and see what happens with that. But moving on in this podcast, game now we're getting to more is what you're considering more real rumors, things that you can trust that actually has some basis in fact.
Listen, there's fact behind the Zelda stuff, Geeb. There's facts. Nintendo spit those facts. They want to put a Zelda game out every year.
Not particularly to those games.
They sold like 23 million copies of Breath of the Wild. They want to keep doing it. Yeah. That's fact. That's fact.
Game
Go ahead,
Boy Advanced. Or Advance, I think, because there's no D at the end of that. Advance. There are some cold hard facts, and I don't even know if that's facts. We have the emulator. The emulator has been put out there.
Yes.
So that it's not a fact. It's hard to say it's a fact because in all reality, that the emulator, we talked about this in a previous podcast. You don't know, go ahead and check out our archive, recent archive. But yeah, I mean, like the emulator has been leaked. The Nintendo Switch emulator that they're going to be using for Game Boy Advance has been leaked. Now, whether that was fabricated and and we were lied to, is yet to be seen. It seems like Nintendo themselves. It seems like it came from inside Nintendo themselves. When the leak first came out, we're getting footage from like inside Nintendo like stuff. And
it's pretty. Obviously you can't really find it online all that easy because Nintendo's pulling it down everywhere they can. If you want to go into the the 4chans, the Reddits, you can find some stuff. But I mean, hell, if we're putting it here, it'll be yanked down in 5 seconds. But, I mean, that tells you something right there. They're taking it down because it's real. I mean, but we knew this was coming. But, yeah, there's facts behind this one at this point. I mean,
let's go ahead and get into some of them.
I don't think that I've seen anybody out there who knows what they're talking about. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I know, like I can legitimize this by looking at it, because I can't, obviously. But people who know a lot more than I know are saying, this is pretty much, this is happening. Like when, I don't know, but like, yeah, it's happening. Like you can look at it. Like this is for sure. So, I mean, we have the name of the emulator. We've got, there's just so much information. The backside of everything is there. Like they were talking about the multiplayer stuff. There's so many things. It's so detailed, and that list of games is massive. And I mean, we kind of, that's what's funny about this. You realize, think about this. A lot of people forget about this. We were all going crazy. Like, oh, Nintendo's going to put Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy games on the online. That's going to happen. It's going to happen. All these leaks. And then what did we find out the day before it actually happened? Oh, sorry. It's not Game Boy Advanced. It's 64. We all found out. We all found out the day before. No, it's cool. Yeah, it was great. Really cool. It was an awesome. For me, I was like, oh, hell yeah.
And for me, I was actually really wanting Game Boy at that time. I was like, Game Boy's happening. We're going to see it. We're going to see it. Game Boy Advance
games, man. There's just
64 to me was like, that blew my mind. I'm like, oh, 64, not Game Boy? Like, I'm actually more on board with this. Like, yeah, man. I mean, we got the controller out of it too, dude. Like, man, that was cool.
Yeah. We got a 64 controller. I don't have mine here. Oh, man.
I had a buddy of mine. I put it in one of my private Discords with my friends. And my buddy, I posted that picture I sent you of the photo I shot of the 64 controller with the red. I gave it to my patrons.
Oh, yeah.
Patrons saw that photo. If you're not a patron, you should do that.
Nice. Very nice.
But my buddy was like, and he wasn't joking because he's just not super knowledgeable on release stuff like that. And he's also just not crazy. He's your average consumer, if you will, who wouldn't necessarily know that 64 controller what it looked like by name. But he saw it. It was like, is that for Switch? I was like, yeah. Like my other buddy laughed at him because he thought he's like, yeah, you're being serious. Like you don't know if that's a Switch controller.
Oh yeah, he just didn't know what it was.
He just didn't know what it was.
Look at that primitive. What is that weird
like,
technology
there? Switch? And my other buddy laughed at him.
Is that an X-wing? I think it's an X-wing.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's just, what was the point I was going to make about this? There was a reason why I told that story. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know either.
Anyway, 64 is cool, man. We got to control that.
It's cool. But I mean, even after, okay, well, my point of saying that is even after the 64 games came and it wasn't Game Boy Advance, I think we all still had a pretty good idea. Like, okay, like they're good with 64. And that was kind of the one where we were all like, will they go there? Will they go 64? There's a timeout being called.
I just had a thought.
Okay, timeout being called. Okay.
Oh, God, now I want it to happen so bad. So we got the announcement of 64 last year, and we got the controller.
Yeah.
There's already been people speculating that Nintendo wouldn't be above re-releasing a Game Boy as a Game & Watch. Like games on it.
Dude, that would be so cool.
What if we got a full Game Boy, but no cartridge slot? It just plays a few ROMs.
Full of games.
Oh, no. Like 3 or 4.
No,
but like a
they
Game
gotta
and
give
Watch.
you more than that. Yeah, but they got to give more than that.
They won't. A Game and Watch in the body of
that
a
right
Game
there's the
Boy.
reason why they won't do it.
That's why it's going to be $50 like the other Game and Watches.
No, because listen to this. I think you're wrong. Listen to this.
It's just
Game and Watch.
It can't be right or wrong. It's just
okay, but let's move a little bit further from what you're talking about, though. I like the basic idea. The basic idea of what you're talking about is good, but let's move it forward a little bit. You're forgetting about something.
Okay.
The Nintendo Classic systems, the NES Mini, the little one, the Super NES Mini. They released those. Those have what? 30 games on them, something like that?
So what are you expecting this little Game Boy to have?
I mean, I would say, games? Why not? Why not 25, 30?
I know why. Because they're trying to sell you a service that's a subscription that's going to have about 20, 30 games on it.
They just did that. Well, that's okay. That's true. Now they got the service. They don't want to give you anything like that.
They don't want to give you 20 games that they're going to give you on the service.
I'd still get them on the service.
Why would you get the? Why would you get the service?
Why
a lot of people? Why would you get the service if you could for $50 you buy a Game Boy that has all those games anyway?
Because then you have 64 games, Super Nintendo games, NES games, Sega Genesis games.
For $99.99, we'd get 20 Game Boy games. I think.
Okay, but then you get online. Then you get the Animal Crossing DLC. You get Splatoon DLC. You get Mario Kart 8 DLC. Come on, man.
You're thinking like a consumer. You're thinking like a consumer.
Exactly. Who's buying these things, Geeb? Who's buying them? Consumers.
But consumers don't run the market. They just buy shit.
They don't. But my God, what you telling me I can buy that thing right there. Now, if I love Game Boy Advance, yeah, cool. I'll buy that for sure.
Oh, God,
if I'm that person, yeah. I mean, if I didn't do what I do right now, I wouldn't buy that. I probably wouldn't buy it.
A Game Boy Advance?
Yeah, a Game Boy Advance, like a re-release with a bunch of games. I probably wouldn't buy it. I probably wouldn't, honestly. If I didn't do what I do, I probably wouldn't buy it. Now, would I pay $100 or the $50 a year for the Switch Online service to have all those games on my Switch? Damn right I would. You're 100 times over. Yes, I would do it. To have everything that's in that plus those games, yeah, man. $50 a year or $50 just for those to have the thing. It's a collector thing. That's something. It could happen. I think it could happen. They haven't put one out. We all thought we were going to see a 64 one. There were like big leaks about that obviously ended up being
I think
false.
The controller ends up being better than that overall, assuming that you have the service already. Because you don't need the stupid console looking thing. The controller is what you want, not the console. The console is it is iconic in what it looks like, but that doesn't. The controller is what makes it. That and the fact that we got a functional controller. Like a full size one, because the classics they're all small, mini.
No, they're not. No. The controllers are full size.
Okay, but the consoles are mini.
The consoles are mini, yeah. But
sure.
Okay. Here's the thing: it was supposed to have 4 ports, which was like, oh yeah, that's cool, because that was the big thing about the 64 too. Like it had 4 ports, so you could just play. You didn't have any adapters. You could just play 4-player games all the time. It was cool. But
right.
I don't know. I think we're gonna see these games in September.
I want to see a Game Boy. I want to see the announcement of the Game Boy service on Nintendo Online. But now I want to see a Game & Watch that is a Game Boy. And I'm okay with it. Cool. I'm okay with it not being an LCD. Like if they put in the old style screen, I think I'd be okay with that. But put 5 ROMs.
How many games? There. Okay, what are they? 5. What are
you
they?
got 5. I think there's going to be. Well, that depends what games are coming out on the service day first, right? That depends.
They'll be the same.
There'll be like one shit one. That's like why like there always is on these service on the
okay
service.
my 3 I
can't give you 3. I'm just not that knowledgeable in games.
I want the there's 2 Metroid games on there, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
I want those because I've tried to play one of them on here.
You have
on
5
the
slots.
machine.
You're filling 2 of them Metroid.
I am. Yeah, me personally. Yeah, I'm talking about me personally. Nintendo won't do that probably. They'll probably put one of them
because they're not dumb. That's why.
What's on there? Zero Mission and
one is fine.
Metroid. Is it Fusion?
I don't know.
Am I wrong? I don't remember.
One from the 80s on the NES.
Yeah, the original. Zero Mission is the remake of the original.
Yeah.
And Minish Cap, because I still haven't played Minish Cap. Tried to play it on there again.
Oh, Minish Cap. Oh,
Yeah.
What if that's the game, man? What if that's the Zelda game? A Game and Watch with Minish Cap on.
Yeah, okay, I'd probably buy that. Well, that doesn't matter, dude. I'm buying. I'm buying.
No,
it anyway.
I'm saying what if that's the game? What if that's the Zelda game for the year? Going backwards for a second.
Oh, you mean like the one that comes out on the Switch, like a remake?
Yeah,
it's possible.
They're not selling a Zelda game this year. They're selling a Zelda game on the service of Game Boy. No. Again, just a shower thought I just had. A podcast thought.
No way. They're done selling games. The virtual console's dead. We've seen the new model. The virtual console's dead. It is a subscription service. You don't get to buy one.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant they're using that game to sell the service.
Oh, I got you.
And like they're not selling a Zelda game this year, but they're selling the service with a Zelda game.
They've got so many. That's the thing. I wasn't huge into Game Boy Advance. A lot of people were. That's not the one game that will sell that system. There are hundreds. Like that.
Yeah.
That system had so many good games. I wasn't into them. I was kind of away from the handhelds at that point. But I mean, I know the way people feel about that system. There's a lot of good stuff there, but I don't know. I think we're going to see it's going to be dropped on the service in September, probably in the high tier. I guarantee it'll be in the high tier.
Yeah,
the $50 tier.
That's another after show topic. Is are they going to add another tier, or is it going to be
they
more
will not do it
already?
They won't do it this year. They won't. They won't touch it this year.
That's an after show topic.
Yeah, but I think September is the time, because that's when this whole thing started. The game, the Nintendo Online stuff, when we had to start paying for it. It was in September, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
but that's when most of us signed up. So anybody who's sitting there saying, well, I don't like the 64 games weren't enough, the DLC's not enough, I may just drop back down to the next tier. They're going to hook them back in with this in September, and they're going to be okay. Well, maybe I'm good actually. Maybe I'm good. Maybe I will go another year. So that's going to be smart, because I mean, I would say at least, I don't know how many Switches were sold at that point.
Which point?
At the point when we actually had to start paying for online. That's a good question. I don't know the answer to. But
that's a good question. I would guesstimate
a majority of those people started then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So your rollover by adding something like that at that time to get them to keep going again would be massive. So I think that's probably when we'll see it. It's probably going to be September.
Yeah. Let's move on to the final topic that we're going to be talking about tonight of real rumors. The Nintendo Switch. Say it with me, everybody. The Nintendo Switch Pro. I would like to call it, if I have anything to say about it, the Super Switch would be the best name they could possibly choose.
I think it'd be awesome if they did. They won't, but I think it would be cool if they did, and actually did like a throwback type of logo.
Yes.
They would be dumb. Same Nintendo Switch logo, but like a cool purple cursive super up sideways over the logo. Oh man, that'd be so sick.
I think Super Switch is more likely than Pro, because everyone and their mother has said the word Switch Pro.
It will not.
On the
it
internet.
will not be called the Pro. Everyone
has said on the internet Pro.
That's Sony's thing.
Nintendo's going to go, oh, that's the word everyone's saying a lot, so we're not going to do that one because we're Nintendo and we're too cool for school. So, but if they don't, I just have a feeling they're not going to go with Super Switch. I have that feeling. I think I'm right about it. I hate that, but the Super Switch, it just makes so much sense. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that.
No, it is a good name. It is a good name.
So again, your video today, you got to take the lead.
Yeah. Okay. So most of this deals with NVIDIA. I mean, if you watched the video today and didn't know about it, I basically outlined what NVIDIA does.
This isn't your video. I don't know who this handsome guy is, but he did a video on the Super Switch back in the day. Just go.
Wow, look at that guy.
Continue.
Look at that guy. Hey, I think he looks familiar. I don't.
There's a reason why we're getting. You keep talking.
Okay. Anyway, so NVIDIA makes the guts of the Switch, the brains of the Switch, the Tegra X1 chip or whatever the new one's called. I can't remember. It's Tegra something. I don't know. It's basically the same thing. It just gives better life because it, has better performance. Whatever. They make the Switch run. So they had some issues there. They had some stuff leaked. They had some files stolen, opened up. There's basically what we saw was the next version of what is it? I can't remember what it's called. This technical stuff. Anyway, it's the thing that makes the Switch run. God, what is it called? Hang on, I have notes because I need to be able to know what it's called.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know. That's why I need to look it up. It's cool. I wrote all this down. It's fine.
Or aren't you just perfectly prepared?
Well, perfectly prepared would mean I had it out and ready.
This is true. But aren't you just not perfectly prepared?
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, NVN. Okay. It's the API for the Switch. Those are the things I was looking for.
Those are acronyms.
Okay, so inside these files, we're seeing a bunch of all this stuff, and we've all talked about DLSS, deep learning, super sampling. That's something NVIDIA does. That's all over these files. But something else that was in these files, which is, this pretty much tells you what they're working on here. NVN2, which is a new API. Now, NVN was made for the Switch, specifically for Nintendo, specifically for the Switch. I don't know why there would be any reason that NVIDIA would be working on NVN2 for anything other than the next iteration of the Switch.
Your logic in that video was perfectly sound.
It doesn't make sense for it to be anything else. They literally made this shit for Nintendo. Yep. I don't think Nintendo would be very happy if they were like, "Oh no, it's cool. We're gonna give it to these guys over here. It's fine, right? No big deal." Like, right. No, absolutely not. It's for. I don't know. It may not be a Switch. Could be something else. But again, you can look at the sales of the Switch and the way Nintendo is going right now. I don't think they're getting off the Switch anytime soon. This hybrid system, maybe it isn't the Switch. Maybe it's Switch 2 or called something else. But this hybrid system's here to stay for the foreseeable future. Now, the one we have is obviously miles behind everything else. Yeah. But, something like this, something with a little bit different hardware inside, the hardware capable to run the DLSS. The possibilities are, and just
an updated that the Switch is running off of 2014 stuff, right?
Yeah,
phone technology from 2014.
Stuff, yeah.
I watched someone stream a mobile Fortnite the other day off an iPad using.
Is it beautiful? I bet it's beautiful,
technically, but it's not beautiful. It's very nice. Mobile tech is great. It's taken such a leap since 2014, 2015.
Oh, yeah, man. It's
crazy.
It's crazy, yeah.
So
we're honestly at the point now where it's kind of starting to level off. As far as advancements in technology and stuff, now it's just bettering all the things they can do.
I think Apple, this is not what we're going to get into, but I just want to quickly say that Apple did kind of change the game here with mobile tech. The M1 chip.
The M1 chip. Okay, the M1, yeah.
That's a significant leap.
Okay, you're right. Forgot about the M1 chip. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's in everything, too. It's so good. They put it in their computers.
It's in their regular desktop computers. There is no graphics card. There's also the M1 chip.
In the iPad, yeah.
In the iPad, but it's nerfed in the iPad, which is bizarre. But this is not an Apple podcast.
Yeah. So there's that. Clearly, that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about whatever the next Switch is. They didn't want us to see that. But, you get the DLSS stuff in the Switch. Just think about where you're at that point. You can see, if you go look at the old videos of when NVIDIA first revealed DLSS.
You mean in this video right here that this handsome boy released?
Yes. And then go look at it now, though.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure.
Like, it's a whole nother monster
you
now.
Like
squint.
This video we're watching here from my video from a year ago.
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, you can see it in this video. But this is, if you go look at it now, what it actually does, it's miles beyond this. Miles. Because they've had time to work with it. They've had time to, perfect it. You put that in the Switch, man, it's over.
Now, so I kind of want to correct you from your video. I don't know if you meant to say it like this, but you did end up saying it like this. You said in your video, you can take, and I'm quoting you. So again, you said 720 to 4K, which
yeah. It's 1080 to 4K.
Yeah, not even though. It's not. It's one step. So 720 could go to 1080. 1080 can go to 1440. 1440 can go to 4K.
All right.
That's too big of a jump. They could do it. It would look really weird, and it wouldn't look 4K if they took something 1080 to go to 4K. They could do it. It wouldn't look right to your eye.
Yet. They can't do it yet.
They can't do it yet, right? Like I said, it doesn't look right.
Again, look at where it started and look at where it's at now.
Right, it's
miles.
It's not gonna happen.
You are right about that. After the video came out, I actually somebody commented that, and I was like, "Is that true?" And I looked, I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, cool."
Yeah, it's one step, but though that one step it takes, it works. It's as if it's as if you're looking at a 1080p image, but it's really a 720p source. And if you're not familiar with how DLSS works and why we work on the Switch, the Switch pretty much runs games for the most part if it even does 720 at 720. So that's what current Switch can run it at. But in this scenario, assuming the Switch had a 1080p screen, which it doesn't, and it would be moot point for this, but in dock mode in particular, for example, you could take that 720 image that the Switch is able to put out, and it's still working just as hard as it normally does. But now it pushes out 4K. Now it puts out 1080.
1080,
so, and to your eyes, it looks 1080, but the Switch is only running as if it was 720.
The 1080, when you dock it, is now 4K or whatever. 1440. Yeah. We're splitting hairs here. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I want to make sure that's correct, because that is a big difference.
But then, you're getting increases in frame rate, draw distance. I mean, you're taking all the pressure off the system.
Right. So
it doesn't have to work anymore.
So here's the thing.
It's just running the algorithms.
Kind of like what I just said, but different. You can actually make the Switch one run it at 480. But now the Switch can play a game that at 720 or 1080, the Switch wouldn't be able to play. It would barely crank out 30 FPS.
Yeah.
But now you can make the Switch run it at 480, which would be like, that looks terrible, 480, which some of the games on Switch do run at 480, by the way. But
I was going to say, we already actually look at that right now.
Let's take a game that would normally run at 720 on the Switch, but now it's running at 480. Now we're getting higher frame rates, but the image looks worse. That's where DLSS comes in.
Yeah,
it puts it right back. Throws you right back to 720, but now it's 60. Or like take the Korok Forest, for example, in Breath of the Wild, or Breath of the Wild as a whole. The game, it runs at 1080 on the Switch in dock mode. Let's take it back a step. Let's take it a step back a little bit for the hardware, make it run at 720. But you're going to see a 1080p image, and the frame rate's going to be 60.
Yeah.
That's what DLSS can do.
Yeah, and God, it would just be fantastic.
Yeah, we're not talking about 4K Switches. We're not talking about DLSS in a Switch or anything like that.
It's not true 4K. No, it's upscale. It's upscaled stuff, but it doesn't matter.
But we're not even talking
like some people say the technology, like the 4K that DLSS gives you is better than actual 4K.
It looks different. It doesn't look better or worse, in my opinion. It looks different.
I remember you telling me that. You were like, it looks different. Yes. But I mean, a lot of people I've heard talk about it say it looks better. It looks better. It looks sharper. It looks cleaner. It looks better. Anyway, there's more. There's more to this whole thing. There was a job listing for NVIDIA, and I don't have it in front of me. I had it up on the screen in my video. But
hold on, really? Someday we'll use binoculars while watching 2056K. Get those binoculars out.
Yeah, we have to watch it from 10 miles away. Like, look at it though; it's amazing.
Sorry, continue.
So the job listing thing. Again, we're going back to talking about NVIDIA here. They're hiring for somebody to work on something that they don't normally even mess with unless it's for one thing, and that's the Switch. They're talking about lower level processing power things. Like, I don't even remember what it says. If you watch my video, I put the thing up in the bottom. It's clear what they're talking about there. NVIDIA doesn't work with low-end shit unless it's the Switch. They make graphics cards for high-end PCs. Like, that's what they do. Like, they work with Nintendo and make this thing that works. I mean, and what else was the Tegra even being used for? Self-driving cars, I'm pretty sure. It was not for the Switch. It was for self-driving cars. That's where the Tegra X1, I believe, maybe it wasn't the X1, but the original version of that was in a self-driving car. I'm pretty sure that's what they're using it for.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they do other things. So that is, I don't know. But why would they be hiring somebody to do something like that at this point? Like, they're already doing those things. It's Switch 2 time. Everything they're talking about in that job listing makes perfect sense. It's talking about optimizing basically the new hardware, the new Switch. That's basically what they're talking about in the job listing. So, I mean, I don't know. I think those things together tell me, obviously, we're getting it sooner than later. I mean, I don't think it's going to... Everybody says, oh, no, we're not getting a new... I'm sorry. Anybody who thinks we're not getting a new Switch till 2024, 2025, you're high.
I mean, at the very least, a Switch Lite. That's very, very, very,
We're going to get a Switch Lite this year. We're going to get an OLED Switch Lite this year. I guarantee
an announcement. We'll get an announcement. I don't know if
we'll get an announcement in July.
No.
August.
Late. September, October.
No. It'll be July, August.
Like you've told me the past, hardware, they just dropped that shit, man. They just announced that.
I know, and they're going to.
Like, there's a June Direct where they talk about games. They're not going to announce hardware.
No, dude, there will be there won't. No, there's going to be a June Direct. They're going to let the hype die off from that a little bit. So it'll be July, October. They'll bust out this OLED
That's what I said, man.
Lights.
Yeah, October. Like, October. That's basically, I'm agreeing with you.
Okay, so they'll bust out this Switch Lite. It's here for holiday 2022. Sells like crazy. Sells like crazy. At this point, we got a date for Breath of the Wild 2. We know when it's coming. Halfway through the year. They say spring. I'll be surprised if we get it in spring at this point.
You just nailed that. I think that the announcement for Breath of the Wild 2 and the next hardware, whether that's a Switch Lite revision or whatever it is, that's coming. The date for Breath of the Wild 2 and the next hardware, I think, is going to be correlation.
I don't. I think the Switch Lite's going to come out. Someone said something in Discord today. Who was it? Who said that in Discord today?
I don't know.
Oh, I want to remember because it was good.
It could have been Willie, because now Willie's saying we're going to use dinosaur dragon unicorns to ride through the screen. Willie's riding high right now.
I like that. I think it might have been Chug, actually. He mentioned something about the Switch Lite OLED could easily be dropped at the same time as the new Pokemon games this year.
Yeah, I think we've mentioned that.
That's
before.
something. Yeah. I don't think I've even thought about that. If I've said it, it went into my brain and out.
But I'm sure. No, dude, I think it's very likely. I don't want it to happen.
When you think about it, I'm like, oh my god, of course.
Here's why I don't want it to happen. It's just because I'm a jealous Zelda fan. Like, we're gonna get a third Pokemon edition Switch.
I don't want a Zelda edition Switch.
We already have
Lite.
the Mario's for edition. We have Animal fucking
no.
Crossing
You
Switch.
give me. I want a Switch.
Zelda.
No. I want whatever the newest Switch is. The newest, biggest, baddest, coolest, 4Kist, 1080pist.
You're not getting that.
60 frames per secondist Switch.
You're not
getting
getting
that to be a Zelda Switch.
You're not getting that, and you're not getting the OLED because it's going to be Pokemon. Because it sells. They put out two Pokemon games at once that are the same game.
23 million copies. It sells. Zelda sells, man. It sells. Sells just fine.
I know, but they hate it. Nintendo secretly hates Zelda, and that's another podcast.
That is a damn lie. That is a damn lie, and you know it.
That's another podcast episode. Nintendo secretly hates Zelda.
Whatever.
That's not clickbait. I actually think it. I really do. I think in a weird way, I really think Nintendo hates Zelda.
Why would you say that?
As for branding, I don't know. I don't know why. I just kind of have the Zelda anniversary, man. They could have announced stuff.
You're salty, dude. You're salty. You're quite salty.
I'm very.
Listen,
very
the
salty.
Zelda anniversary stuff was very clearly a pandemic issue.
I know.
Not because they had anything against. Come on, man. Don't be salty.
How much? We had rumors confirmed that maybe, just maybe, Grezzo was already finished with like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask at that time. Why not just put it out then?
Because they didn't know what was going to happen. None of us, think about this. None of us knew what was happening. It was scary, dude. They didn't know. They were like, we can't even get people in here to work. Yeah, we've got these games, but we have to look at the future of our business. This will be totally fun to get all these games out for this year. Get 5 Zelda games out like they did for Mario. They put a shit ton of Mario games out that year. It was awesome. But you got to think business and the future, especially when you have no fucking idea what the future is going to be.
Yeah.
We were all of us. We had no idea. Like, everything's shutting down. People can't go to work, especially in Japan. The work from home stuff in Japan. We learned a lot about that during the pandemic because it's a whole lot different than it is here because they don't work at home. They don't have computers. They don't take their work home.
That's a big difference between our
work cultures, is work and home is home. They don't mix the two ever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, damn, Willie.
Yeah, I know, Willie. You made my eyes go, woo. Thank you so much.
Whoa,
we'll talk to you in the
Yeah. So, I mean, I honestly think they had something planned, but they pulled this stuff back because, like, who knows? What if this lasts 5 years? Like, we have to make this thing work. We have to have something ready. What if we can't bring people back to work on these?
Yep.
Like, we can't just throw everything out right now. We have to play our cards smart. And I think they did. And I think now, for the rest of the Switch's life, we're gonna see the benefits of it. I think we're gonna get a lot of Zelda because I think they have a bunch just in the hopper, ready to go, ready to throw it out whenever they feel like the time's right.
Before we end this podcast, I just want to remind you guys that we do upload this podcast on all the audio platforms, which you're probably listening to it right now on, and we appreciate that. It's just your favorite podcast. We do. Your favorite podcast app of choice. This podcast is most likely on it. I don't really think there's any service that's not on. I'm not sure. But in fact, if there is an app that you're not finding our podcast on, let me know in the Twitter. Just go ahead and you can DM me or in Discord or whatever. I'm curious if the app that you chose is not on there. Just let me know. We do upload this podcast, the full video podcast, to patrons only. I'm gonna go ahead and drop my link in the chat, both of patron Drips and mine. Patreon links. Both of those links are in this podcast description, but only in the chat right now for Twitch. That's my link. Just go ahead and substitute Drip Media at the end of that instead of Uncle Geeb.
What? I just realized I didn't give my patrons the whole episode yet.
Oh,
I'm doing it right now. I'm doing it right now.
Hey,
I'm doing it right now.
I don't control Drip's Patreon. I control my own Patreon. My stuff.
I'm doing it right now. Doing it.
The point I'm trying to make here is that we do upload the full video podcast only to patrons. So if you want to watch this video podcast in its entirety, you can already listen to it in its entirety for free. But if you want to listen to the video in its entirety, you either show up to the stream or you go ahead and be a patron and you get the VOD. No questions. You get the VOD every week, unless you're Drips patrons.
They have it right now.
There you go.
Literally
you have last
right
week's
now.
this way. You also don't keep in mind, guys, that we still put YouTube clips up. So if you want to check out this podcast in more time friendly, if you're on a constraint, you only have 20 minutes to kill and you want to listen to our podcast, go to YouTube, at youtube.com/drip and Geeb, I think is what it is, or Drip Geeb. I don't know. I'll put the link in. The link's down below. Go check out our YouTube. We do put some clips of this podcast over there, but not the entire podcast. So just keep that in mind. Drip, this was a good podcast. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Yeah.
We're going to go to the after show and hang out with the Twitch chat. You guys stick around. Audio listeners, YouTube people, we will see you guys next week.
Goodbye.